Good evening, and thank you for joining me in my presentation on coping with a child with ADHD. 8.4% of children in America are diagnosed with ADHD. My son is one of the 8.4%. Symptoms include, but are not limited to, lack of restraint, bottled up emotions, and mood swings. For children who suffer from ADHD and mood disorder, it is very hard for them to communicate their feelings. They don't know what to tell you because they're confused, and it can be overwhelming for lots of parents who have children who suffer from this disorder. In order to help your child communicate with you, one of the things that could be helpful is the use of a chart with emotional expressions. It works for my child. What we like to do is get him to point to his feelings on this chart and tell me how he feels. Boredom is one that really gets my son going. So what we like to do in coping with these symptoms, we like to give our child a different activity to do, something to keep him from feeling fidgety and bored or useless. Another good way to get your child to communicate with you is to always leave the door open for communication. Ask your child how he or she feels. Even if you don't get a response right then, automatically you're letting your child know that they can come to you and talk to you at any time that they feel they need to talk. Another great thing to do, and I would strongly suggest to any parent, is to join a group, a parental support group with other parents who have been there and done that, and parents who understand your plight. Because you will experience all sorts of meltdowns, all sorts of emotional roller coasters. These parents have been there, done that. You have seen in the supermarket or even at school, you have seen a child having a tantrum. What you may not have known was that child was suffering from ADHD or a mood disorder. These meltdowns include kicking, screaming, yelling, throwing things. What you want to do is to give them something else to think about. So you give them an opportunity to calm down, and it also gives you a chance to calm down. You'll notice your child needs that time, because it is confusing. So you try to do things to curb the anger or the fear. You want to try breathing techniques. You want to try counting techniques. You also might want to try to give your child fresh air. Let your child go outside, enjoy the fresh air, play. These types of things will help your child with their bottled up emotions. Keep in mind, as a rule of thumb, that all meltdowns are not the same. They go, sometimes they're ones, sometimes they're tens. You have to do what suits the situation at the time, because it can be overwhelming for child and parents alike. And I am extremely aware of that fact, because I too have a child who suffers from ADHD. In conclusion to this presentation, I would like to think that I have given you different options for coping, for noticing the symptoms, and for knowing what to do and how to better understand your child. These things work for parents who have a child or know a child who suffer from ADHD.